helmet this year has been awesome. You know, I've been on Shoeis for a long time. I started my motorcycle racing career in a Shoei as a dirt tracker as a kid, and was back in the Shoei family starting in 2002. So we're 8 years into it now, back in the Shoei, and it's great. Every time we get a new model, it's so much better than the last one. And just when you don't think it can get any better, it seems to get better every time. So for me on the racetrack, the eye port, the vision, it seems to be larger, at least increased on the top side. So that definitely helps out when you're tucked in behind the fairing, and definitely the cooling system works better in this helmet than any helmet I've ever worn. So it's important. You know, here, it probably won't be such a big deal here at Laguna this weekend, but it's not too hot. But later this year, Virginia, some of these hot races when it's 100 plus, that cooling system really helps out a lot. So looking forward to it. You know, it's a great new helmet. I'm really fortunate I haven't had a chance to use the new system to have the emergency crews pull my helmet off, so I'm happy about that. But it's a great feature of the helmet. You know, it allows the emergency crews to get the helmet off without injuring the rider's neck and head. So yeah, it's a great helmet, and you know, I can't say enough about it.
So, Shoei came out with this new X12, and they were nice enough to make a replica for me, and it's beautiful. I'm a big Shep Ferry fan, so was inspired by him, and Airtrex did a great job of making, I think, one of the best looking helmets on the market. Can't wait to see the thing out there. But in general, the X12 is a big improvement over the X11. Honestly, just the way it fits, the quietness of it, and the eye port when you look around. You know, I didn't realize the improvement until they gave me one at a test, and they actually took it away the next day and I rode with an X11. And I thought I had the best helmet, and then I realized, wow, there's a big difference, and I wanted the X12 back, and I had to literally give it back because it was the only one. So I vouch for it. The X11 I thought was the best helmet, but they've improved the best helmet, which is saying a lot. The biggest improvement with the X11, the first thing you notice when you put it on is the ear pockets. You can ride longer. They've provided a recessed space in the foam for your ears, and it's very comfortable to put on. And the second thing you notice is in your peripheral. You don't see anything above you. It's like having a hat on or no hat on. It's just sky. Besides all that, it looks the best, and especially this one. So on this one we put there's a lot going on in it, you know? It's more or less things on top of things packed in there that I like, but we did put a quote on both sides of the helmet. And it says, when you're riding, you're living, everything else is just waiting. And it's an old quote. It's been used in a few motorcycle things, but I thought it really hit home. When you're on the motorcycle, you feel alive, you know? I can tell you race Saturday, Sunday, Monday comes and there's a real emptiness. And I think part of it, you're not in the pits with your friends anymore. It's like the family dispersed, but also when you're on the bike, there's so much adrenaline there, you really feel alive. You know, there's no gray zone of life, it's alive. And when Monday comes, it's not there, you don't have that. It's, you learn to respect it and appreciate what you had. So that's the whole idea behind the quote. Yeah, so a lot of people, you know, they look at the helmet and they think, oh, it's a beautiful looking X12 Shoei, Ben Boston replica, but there's more to it. We put my number on the back, more just a stamp. This is Ben's, I guess, I don't know. But the 155 dates back in 2000. I went over to Europe as a World Superbike rider, and you don't have a lot of pull. I wanted number 11 on my bike, that was my number. But Infostrada was our sponsor, and they launched their new dial code. We dial 411 for information, and they dial 155. So it was basically mandatory that I put the 155 on my bike to race next to Carl's number 1. And at first, you know, you're a little bit like, God, that's not my number, and it's 3 digits, and I look like this triple digit guy, which I was the new guy, so I should be a triple digit guy. But in the end, by halfway through the season, I started seeing it on kids' scooters around Italy, and I thought, that could only be my number. And I thought that was pretty cool. If it was 11, it could be anybody else. But in this case, it's a 155, and that is a Ben Bostrom fan. So it kind of stuck, and I like it, and I plan to try to make the most out of this number, you know? Hopefully next year I get rid of those 5s and it's just a 1 on there. But in general, that's where that comes from, so it represents me.